Have you ever thought that maybe the whole journey of a person's life, from the very first steps we take to the biggest things we achieve, could be mirrored in the life of a single tree? Well, today we're diving into this beautiful, ancient Buddhist teaching that does exactly that. It uses one absolutely magnificent tree to map out the entire path to enlightenment.
So our story kicks off with a phrase that you hear all through these ancient texts. Thus have I heard. The original is Ru Shi Wu Wen. And this isn't just some fancy, old-fashioned opening. No, it's basically a stamp of authenticity. It's the storyteller's way of saying, hey, what I'm about to tell you comes straight from the Buddhist time, passed down from person to person. It's our signal to really tune in.
So this is the big question at the heart of the whole thing. The text we're looking at, the Parijaya Tree Sutra, puts forward this incredible idea, this amazing allegory. It suggests that the entire life cycle of a divine, heavenly tree, from the tiniest sprout to its final, spectacular bloom, is a perfect metaphor for a person's own path to spiritual awakening. Now, to really get this, we've got to stretch our imaginations a bit. We're not talking about some tree in your local park. The story doesn't even take place on Earth. It unfolds in a celestial realm, a place filled with gods, divine beings, and a tree that is just unimaginably huge. This place is called the Triastramsha heaven, or the heaven of the 33. In Buddhist cosmology, you can think of it as this incredible realm of pure beauty and joy, way up on the peak of Mount Meru. It's ruled by the great deity Indra. And right in the middle of it all, that's where we find our tree. And here it is, the Parijata tree. Now, a yojana is this ancient unit of measurement, but you don't need to get bogged down in the specifics. The point is the scale of this thing. Its roots spread out for 5 yojana, it's 100 yojana tall, and just its canopy stretches 50 yojana wide. I mean, this is not an ordinary tree. It's a cosmic landmark, a gathering place for the gods themselves. Okay, so we've met the tree. Now let's meet the other side of our allegory, the human at the heart of this journey. This is the Śrāvaka, which literally means a voice hearer. This figure represents any one of us, really, this spiritual seeker, the student who decides to really listen to and follow the Buddhist teachings. Their inner journey is what the tree's growth is about to show us. So let's get into it. Every incredible journey has to start somewhere, right? With a single step. And in our story, this magnificent tree begins with the smallest, most hopeful sign of new life. This is where the comparison gets so direct and honestly so cool. When the very first little buds start to appear on the tree, all the gods in heaven get excited and celebrate. The sutra says this is exactly like when a person first feels that little spark of faith and makes the huge decision to leave their normal life behind for a spiritual one. Then, as the first leaves appear, it mirrors the practitioner taking those first visible steps, shaving their head, putting on the robes. It's the outward sign of an inner commitment. But the outward stuff is just the beginning, the real transformation, the deep, profound work. That happens inside. So the next phase of the tree's growth is going to take us right into the inner world of meditation.
And this is where the allegory gets even deeper. First, this beautiful, shimmering, jewel-like net appears on the tree. This represents the first stage of deep meditation, that feeling of joy you get when you start to detach from all your worldly cravings. Then, new buds start to form, and this symbolizes an even deeper stillness, a joy that comes from pure, unbroken concentration. After that, another kind of bud appears. This one is for a bliss so sublime it's actually beyond joy. It's just this deep physical ease. And finally, the last buds form. This is it. Perfect, unshakable calm. A state of pure awareness. Every new growth on the tree is a new level of inner peace. Okay, so all of this growth, all this inner practice and outward change, it's all been building up to one spectacular final moment. The tree is about to reach its ultimate expression, and so is the spiritual seeker. And then it happens. The Parijata tree just explodes into full bloom. The text goes on and on about how pure the flowers are, how they release this marvelous, otherworldly fragrance. It's like a sensory overload that just fills the entire celestial realm. The power of this moment is it's almost impossible to wrap your head around. The sutra says that a gentle breeze, just a light wind, is enough to carry this incredible fragrance for a distance of 50 yojana. And if a strong wind picks up, that fragrance travels a full 100 yojana. It literally blankets the entire heavenly realm in this beautiful scent. So you see, this isn't just a flower opening. This is a cosmic level event. And it's not just the scent, the light. The light that comes from the blossom tree is so brilliant that it illuminates the heavens for 80 yojana. I mean, can you imagine that? A presence so glorious that the gods themselves just gather underneath it for 4 months straight, just to be in its presence.
So here's the big reveal, the whole point. The blossoming isn't just a pretty sight. It represents the unlearned fruit. It's the state of full and complete enlightenment. It means the practitioner has done all the work. The spiritual impurities are gone. The cycle of rebirth is over. They've reached the final goal.
And so, just like the gods gather around and celebrate the tree, the sutra says that an enlightened being becomes this incredible source of reverence and inspiration for the whole world. They're revered by everyone because they are a living example of the path, radiating their own kind of spiritual light that touches everyone around them. The sutra closes with one last, really elegant parallel. It brings the whole story full circle, connecting what's happening up in the heavens with what's happening down on earth. And it shows us a universal truth that applies to both. I mean, just look at this perfect symmetry. Up in the heavens, you have the gods, all dressed up, gathered in their great hall to listen to their leader, Indra, teach. And down on earth, you have the enlightened monks who've completed their journey, gathered around the Buddha to listen to his teachings. It's amazing, right? In both worlds, the highest possible activity, the most important kind of gathering, is one that's centered around listening to wisdom. And so this ancient story really leaves us with a question for ourselves, doesn't it? We might not be giant celestial trees, but every single one of us is on some kind of journey of growth. So what journey are you on? What are the first little buds of a new idea or a new commitment that are starting to show in your life? What deeper work are you doing on the inside? This whole beautiful story is just a powerful reminder that every single step, from the tiniest intention all the way to the final bloom, is part of a sacred and totally worthwhile path.